All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. Had some requests a while ago to check out something having to do with Rafer Alston, who also went by Skip to My Lou. I got to admit, I'm kind of excited about this because I know of Rafer. I saw him playing the NBA a little bit, but not much. So this whole thing is going to be kind of like fresh for me. And I mean, you'll laugh at me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was part of the And One scene. But if he wasn't part of the And One scene, I know that he was a Streetballer before he went pro. And that's why it was like such a big deal that he went pro, because it was like when worlds collide. But I'm not going to do a long intro because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Skip to My Lou. So let's figure this out. Let's time for old Mindcrime to learn some stuff here. And yeah, as always, I'm going to leave the link to the original video down below in the description. So this is a video from Trice, and it's called The Story of Skip to My Lou, the NBA's first Streetballer documentary. So yeah, the link's going to be down below if you want to check it out without my commentary. And everybody else, please leave a like to the video as usual. I appreciate you all. And let's do this. I can't believe I don't know that much about Rafer. I'm kind of embarrassed. So let's fix this. I love Trice Media.
Man, Jamaica, Queens, rough. The height of the crack epidemic. Neighborhoods were being, I would say, in so many words, destroyed. You know, when you're living in the inner city, living in those type of environments, you hang your hat on sports. For a guy like myself, basketball was like my sanctuary, is where, I knew, that's where I should be. That's where I belong. That's where I was going. I know they put the ball in my hand at 5. I fell in love with it right away, that I would never put the ball down.
That's awesome.
Late 70s, early 80s, I was going with your mother to send you to the store, and I would hold the groceries in one hand to pass it back and dribble the ball. And if this arm got tired, I try to hurry up and switch. Sometimes you drop the bag, the eggs break. I went in the house, man. My mother was like, man, leave that ball here. And she said I wouldn't leave that ball there. I go back to the store for the groceries again with the ball.
Yeah, that's like some Pete Maravich level stuff. Everywhere you go, dribble the ball.
By the time I was, I want to say 7 going on 8, because my birthday's in the summer. So I was turning 8, and they were having this tryouts in the park that I would go to every day in the summertime in the morning. I would get up every day, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, eat a bowl of cereal, and just run across to this park called St. Albans Park. And he was having these trials, all ages. When he laid eyes on me, he just said, he came to me, he just said, he's coached and been around a lot of players since they were young. And he said, I'm probably gonna be the next one that make it out of here. So at this time, you got guys like Mark Jackson, Pearl Washington, Rod Strickland, you got Kenny Smith, all these guys that are on TV. So my love affair with basketball was always there. So I always want to be those guys. You see what I'm saying? Because every day I touch a ball, I want to be on TV. I want to go to this college. I want to make it to the pros. I want to be these guys.
Yeah. I love that he mentioned Rod Strickland, by the way. That's so underappreciated.
From a young age, Rafer Jamel Alston had built a reputation in the hoops world of New York City. You see, with a long line of basketball greats who would come up through the streets of its boroughs, people are always looking for who has next. Something that the coach at Benjamin Cardozo High School saw in Alston.
So when I went to the Cardozo High School, my first 2 years I was playing. My first year I played, him and I were getting back and forth because I felt I was one of the best guards. I was better than the senior at the time, but he felt I was small, I was thin. But then in my sophomore year, I was the man of the team. I was averaging 25 points per game. I played the whole year. We lost in the playoffs. My junior year, that's when I started being more of a truant. I wasn't going to every class. Some days I wouldn't. For days I wouldn't even show up to school.
Yeah.
Even though Rafer had proven on the court that he was one of the best the city had to offer, by his junior year he had found himself barely going to class, and eventually just stopped attending school altogether.
Damn.
Throughout my travels in high school, I played AAU ball. And no matter where they took me, I would show up and show out. They take me to Virginia to a Boo Williams tournament, and I play against Allen Iverson, and I'm doing my thing as well. Even though they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing as well. So the talent was always there. People knew how good I was. The grades wasn't there.
Yeah.
Although in the classroom, Alston was on the verge of ruining his organized basketball career before it started, Rafer found his freedom in a familiar place, outside in the parks of New York City. The one place where there was no rules or restrictions, and he was able to just do the thing he loved most.
My high school coach, Ron LeClaire, took me out to Rucker Park when I was 14. And he put me on the team, and so these are grown men. These are like high school Americans, college, and some guys playing overseas. So I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get the playing time with these guys. These guys are phenomenal. So one day, we have a game, he takes me up there, and we only have like 7 guys. So now I'm like, oh snap, I gotta play today. And when I went in that game, man, I had no fear.
And this is why Rucker is so legendary. All these great players, man. All these great players. Damn, man, look at this. Yeah, they had no talent back then. They had no skill back then. Look at this.
I'm just weaving through the defense, throwing passes, and the crowd is getting off their feet. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm doing something out here with these grown-ups. Because this is like a pro-am league. This is the creme de la creme of summer tournaments in New York City. And they was calling me the Energizer. And they was like, uh-oh, here comes the Energizer. Because he keeps going. So I'm like, oh, snap. They gave me a nickname. So I come back the next time, and everybody's like, man, we want to see the Energizer get in. The very next summer, 15, it's all about me now. These guys are nowhere to be around, so now I'm there every day. And one day, the other team was shooting a free throw. And I was like, well, what could I do to get these people off their feet again? What could I do? And I thought of something right on the spot. I said, if I get on the 2-on-1, 3-on-1 fast break, I'm saying this in my head, I'm gonna let the ball bounce beside me. I'm gonna start skipping, and I'm gonna see if this guy go for that ball. And if he go for that ball, I'm gonna wrap that thing around, throw a no-look to my teammate for the finish. And it just happened true to form.
Get out of here. So that's where the nickname comes in. What the hell? I would have never known. I can't believe I didn't know this.
And everybody
That's
just
crazy.
ran the floor on the court.
In late 1998, a homemade videotape of Rafer Alston was delivered to And One by his coach from Benjamin Cardozo High School. The tape was simply titled The Skip Tape, and it would change the company and Alston's life forever.
Hey, yo, check this out. This is Sway from the world-famous Wake Up Show with King Tech and DJ Revolution, and y'all about to view the N1 mixtape on video, coming to you live.
Oh, man, he was on Volume 1?
Banging.
By the time I was 16, they was classifying me as a streetball legend. And it was, people think because of mainly Rucker Park, but because I didn't have the storybook career, most of my basketball was in all the tournaments in New York City. Well, I don't know if you ever heard of West 4th Street. You name a tournament at that time in the mid to late 90s in New York, I played in them. People would follow, they'll find out what team I'm on in some of these tournaments, and they'll get to that part. I don't care if I was playing in the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Long Island. They would get there because they're like, I gotta watch this kid play. Till this day, man, Skip to my Lou is my nickname, and a lot of people don't even know my real name. They know me as Skip. They think my mother named me Skip.
In a way that shouldn't have been possible without social media, the mixtape would spread across the country like wildfire. This wasn't the organized game of past generations. This was basketball in a way you had never seen. And it made Skip to My Lou a street legend overnight.
This is a cool documentary so far.
through my whole travels, the NBA was always the goal. From the time I was introduced to basketball, I'm in those playgrounds by myself. Imagine myself being Dr. J. I imagine myself being Isaiah Thomas. I'm imagining myself being Larry Bird, right? Magic Johnson, all these guys. So the NBA was always my thing. I always knew how to play the game of basketball the right way.
Alston never gave up on the dream that had made him fall in love with the game. And although he had to get his GED to finish high school, Rafer was ready for the next chapter.
So now I'm forced to go to JUCO, and I'm like, okay, now I have to buckle down. I didn't have the grades to go to those big time schools, so there was no reason for them to recruit me. So when I went to junior college, you know, everything worked out. I mean, I was doing what I needed to do in the classroom and on the court. And those same schools were coming back around once they realized that where I was at, and I was a JUCO All-American.
Crazy to think nowadays he could have just finished high school and possibly gotten drafted just like that.
As a junior, Rafer would elect to attend Fresno State University, playing for the legendary Jerry Tarkanian and the Bulldogs.
Oh man, this is college. The whole crowd is in it for Skip. Oh. Listen to that crowd, that's great.
1998, you know, I averaged double-digit points, 11 points, I averaged 7 assists, 7.5 assists. So from a point guard standpoint, that's pretty solid. I went to Chicago pre-draft camp, like all the kids still do today, and I turned it out. Right when I got drafted, 39th pick to the Milwaukee Bucks.
39th pick.
Skip's NBA career would get off to a slow start, averaging just 10 minutes per game over the course of his first 3 seasons.
Man, screw it, he made it.
Filling the role of a reserve on a talented Milwaukee Bucks squad.
When I look back, it was a good experience. What that did, because even though I wasn't playing, I wasn't getting the minutes.
Wow, that's so cool right there. That's so cool. Those two together.
You know, in that NBA, it's tough playing young players because one, even though we can play, we haven't learned how to win in that league. But the greatest thing I got from those 3 years is that I was able to be around some phenomenal players, some phenomenal men that was able to teach me about being a pro. Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, Vinny Del Negro, Danny Manning. I had some of the greatest. I mean, these are guys that when I was a kid watching TV, I'm watching these guys on television at their respective colleges. It was able to show me what it was to be a pro, how to win. So by time, it was only a couple of years later, maybe 2, that I became a starter. I was playing 33, 34 minutes a night.
Okay.
So my contract ends with the Bucks in 2002. No one picks me up. I go back to New York City and the phones wasn't ringing. My agent at the time was telling me, man, you should go. So now they just started it was called the D League then.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like, man, so my agent's like, you want to go to the D League? I'm not going down there. I'm going to destroy them kids. I just played 3 years in the NBA. I'm playing against, I'm not going down there.
Yeah, before we had a G League, it was the D League. We called it the Developmental League. I'm honestly not sure what the G League stands for, what G stands for.
She was like, what are you gonna do? I said, I don't know, I'm gonna take some time. So I'm in New York City just hanging out with friends, partying every night, and
Crap.
And it was one day, man, I got up, God bless his soul, Mark Jackson's brother was one of my close friends on my N1 team, big Escalade, Troy Jackson. We were riding to his house, and he was saying, yo, man, you gotta stop. You gotta get back and go, you gotta play. And I got called up to the Toronto Raptors on a 10-day contract. The 10 days, I'm kicking butt in the NBA. I think I'm averaging like 20 points, or 17 points a game in my 10 day.
One of the better young point guards in the NBA. As deep 3 by Rafer. Here's Alston again, nice dish. Peterson, boom, shakalaka. Potter throws in the corner of the floor. Here's Rafer again to the rim.
Looking solid out there.
So from that point on, my career took off from there.
Nice.
It was getting the 10-day contract, getting put in a situation where the coach gave me the ball to run his team, run the organization. My career took off from 2002, 2003.
That's awesome.
60-yard number 11, Rafer Alston. Alston working against Utrecht with a spin. Yes!
Reminds me of Jason Williams, too. That's why I paused that picture earlier. Because he needed a coach that would trust him as well. And once he did, he became a star.
Good things will happen.
My time in Houston was great.
Lead down to only 2.
Yeah, this is when I really remember Rafer.
5 seconds left. Rafer with a 3.
Bang.
The ball.
Rafer hits again. 8 3-pointers for Rafer.
There's some wonderful teammates. T-Mac is, till this day, is like a big brother. I'm older than him, and he's like a big brother to me.
Outside Rafer for a 3.
Damn, man. His handles are ridiculous. Ooh.
We won 22 games in a row, which was unheard of.
22 wins.
Yeah, what a cool team they had.
First place in the Western Conference. Rafer Alston with a career high.
Dikembe coming off the bench for Yao.
The defining moment of Rafer's NBA career would come in 2009, when the Orlando Magic, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, traded for Alston to replace their injured all-star point guard Jameer Nelson.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I go from one title contending team to another one. And these players were predominantly all veterans, Rashard Lewis, Hedo Turkoglu. Then we had some youngsters that were, trying to find their niche in the league, JJ Redick. And I'm with another big-time big man. I go from playing with Yao Ming to playing with Dwight Howard.
Yeah, no kidding.
Racing the floor, finding Howard.
By the way, both of those teams, the Rockets and then the Magic, both teams I'd say probably would have won a championship if it wasn't for a guy named Kobe.
Helping
Especially
lead
Orlando.
on a deep playoff run, Skip would start every game he played for the Magic,
Awesome.
bringing a veteran presence to the team. In fact, he would provide the perfect leadership the team needed, becoming a big reason why Orlando would reach the 2009 NBA Finals.
There's certain things that happens in a human being's life that make whatever you've done up until that point flash before you. So when I got to the finals, I'm thinking, I was like a kid in a cancer. I'm like, man, I used to dream about this on the park. I used to be by myself, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Act like I hit the game winning the finals.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to always pretend I was Isaiah Thomas and I was winning the finals and people were picking me up, like they did Isaiah in 1990 and 89 and 90. So I'm like, wow, man, finally it's here. And I'm a starter. And I'm starting in the finals.
Yeah.
Here comes Rafer, skip the Malou, nice move.
Alston, little fancy, puts it up. Bank shot is good.
That's awesome.
Rafer Alston.
They're calling him Skip in here.
And there's a lot of skip in Rafer's game right now.
We go to game 3 and Coach Van Gundy brings me in his office early in the morning and asks me how am I feeling, how's my mind set. And he just told me to go play my game. And then I ended up having 20 points in game 3 and everyone's going crazy in Orlando. My phone's blowing up. Everybody from New York City's calling my phone, like, man, you killing them. And that was the only game we won. That was the only game we won. They beat us 4 games to 1.
Yeah.
They kicked out behind.
The following offseason, Rafer Alston would be dealt to New Jersey in order to make room for a fully healthy Jameer Nelson.
Oh, man. At that point, Jameer was all right. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Now
an 11-year NBA vet, this would mark the beginning of the end for his career in the league, as following a brief stint with the Nets, Skip would see his final NBA action with the Miami Heat in 2010.
The skip to my Lou gets right to the rim.
Despite being the team's starting point guard at the time, Alston would elect to leave the franchise for personal reasons midway through the season, marking his last appearance in an NBA uniform.
Huh, what happened?
I went to Miami. I was playing. It was start me. I had messed up my wrist. The coach at the time takes me out of the start lineup, and they're saying that you're not playing no more. So I say, wow. So I go from starting to not even coming to bed. I go from starting to not playing at all. I said, so you know what? I'm dealing with so much at the time that I just left the team.
Damn.
And I just bounced all over the place. I just left Houston for Orlando, Jersey. All this happened in 1 year, right? And actually in a matter of months. I should have went back. I should have went to them and told them, I don't care what you guys want to do with me. I'm just done playing for this remainder of this year. But I probably should have handled it a different way. But you know, that's just life, man. You live and you learn, man. You live and you learn.
I mean, it's cool he had an 11-year career in the NBA, though. Right? He got to live his dream.
Today, Skip to My Lou is known as one of the most notorious street ball players of all time. His rise from the legendary courts of New York City, becoming the face of a nationwide movement, and being the only player to make it from the streets to the NBA, has long since cemented his place as a legend in his own right. He single-handedly ignited the imagination of young players everywhere, showing the hoops world that it was possible to reach their dreams while also embracing the creativity and flash that makes the game special. A legacy that was born on the crowded blacktop of Rucker Park and journeyed all the way to the NBA Finals.
The journey is a journey I put myself through. I was able to get myself out of it by go back to high school and not playing, not going to school. But imagine if I did it the way I should have done in high school. What would I be? A McDonald All-American, a Parade All-American. I go to junior college, I handle my business. I go to Fresno State, I get drafted. It all worked out. And I've had a lot of bumps in the road to where each one is a learning experience that I could share with the youth today. And I share with my youngest kid, my boys that play ball, that I could tell them the things to do to make it, and I could tell them things not to do because I was on both sides of it.
For sure.
It's a challenge, man, for a lot of guys that are talented basketball, that play predominantly street ball basketball, to go and have to play in a structured setting. See, when I first got in the league, that's what all the scouts and a few general managers, that's because most of the highlights of me was from the and one days. So a lot of general managers and coaches thought, oh, he's just a street ball kid, until they gave me that basketball and asked me to run their team. Once they gave me that basketball and run their team, their mouths were closed. Playing in the playground, man, it made me tough. Growing up in the environments I grew up, doing some of the things I had no business doing out there in New York City, in the Queens, Southside of the Queen, it made me tough. It made me who I am today. And that's what helped me through my journey, because I had some tough times throughout the journey.
Dang. What a cool documentary. You guys, if you enjoyed this, go check out Trice's channel. The link's right down below in the description. I highly recommend it. The quality of these these videos is just top notch. It's like something I would expect to see on like Netflix or something like that. But so what I'm curious about, and maybe you guys can help me out down in the comments, is his career considered a success? Because everything I've seen here and understood is that even though he had some bumps in the road, what a freaking amazing story. That's a success story right there. You know, coming for the projects and, not even showing up at school, starting in his junior year, and then still finding a way through like and one, and then getting an opportunity in the NBA, getting out of the NBA, partying too much, getting back into the NBA, then having a solid career. I think that's a fantastic story. No wonder why you guys wanted me to check this out. And it's crazy because I never knew him as Skip to My Lou. I just knew him as Rafer Alston. And as I was watching this video, like, I realized I knew Rafer a lot more than I thought I did. I remember him playing on all these teams. I just didn't know he was a street hooper. But that's also like shows that his skills from the street really transcended onto the NBA court. Because though he might have been a little flashy on the court, he had his fundamentals down. He was a legit pro. And yeah, nobody can take that away from him. So shout out to everybody who suggested this. I'm really appreciative because I probably would have never checked this out. And how crazy would that be if I didn't know about the first NBA street hooper that actually freaking legit made it? So thank you, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a like to this video if you enjoyed it. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Sorry, I had a stutter right there. And yeah, thank you, everybody. I will see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.